Hi, this is Ushio, and welcome back to A Summer with the Shiba Inu. In the last episode, we went to a flashback, and we found out what happened in Arena 12, and now we have a chance to relive that time, and see what happened now. Well, the world comes into focus again, and I can feel it, the exhilaration when an arena has begun. This one is set in a modern building. I can actually recognise it as a building from real life. It's a bit different, of course, usually bustling with dogs in the shopping centre downstairs. It's now deserted. Crisscross escalators connect the floors, still operating. Yeah, I remember this place almost too well. This arena was one of the lowest points of my life. It's surprising how fast a dog can fall. I thought I was invincible. So what happened back then in Island Year 211? Went upstairs to hunt Trapper, went upstairs and was caught. We were caught. The Trapper let me go at the first encounter, even though she had me at her mercy. This re-challenge then, if I enter a territory upstairs, she won't let me off the hook that easily. I know of the copied arena's existence, but I don't think she does, so the copied arena will be my backup strategy. Slinking around and trying to reorient myself with the once familiar shopping floor, I'll find the ominous fire escape. Regardless of what she plans to do, I should find her. I'll be more prepared this time. I just don't want to be passive and be caught off guard. I wonder if she'll even bother rigging up her floors this time around. Nevertheless, I've learned from my experiences. This time, I won't let her make me her slave. The climb is so much longer than I remembered. These re-challenges are making me remember how alone I felt back then, in the years of participating in the arenas. In the real world, I can chat and eat all I want with Max and Cooley. I can create and maintain friendships, enjoy the sunny days. In the arena back then, everything was so solitary. Yeah, I am back to being all alone. The climb seems to stretch on forever, with just me and my thoughts. I've got to tough it out. Think of it as a mission to beat in order to proceed in the main story to find Chunwen. Okay, I reached the office floors. The scene of me being cornered by the Trapper flashes through my mind again. With no other survivors to save me from the basement. Never mind, I'm thinking about a game from Canine, aren't I? Funny that the nickname I gave Shirella still holds true. Even as one dog acting independently, she inspires that fear. I crouch down, edging into the office while maintaining cover by the desks. Okay, nothing seems to have been touched. There aren't even tripwires, which I remembered from last time. Oh, I was only half kidding when I thought she wouldn't bother rigging up this floor. So she's doing things completely differently this time. I'll keep looking. This room cleared, I peek cautiously into the central corridor hub area. No sign of the Trapper. Just in case, I search the other offices one by one. Every corner I found, every desk I peek over from takes courage. Still, nothing. Where could she be? She could have set a trap on the higher floors. Is there somewhere she'd expect me to go? I shudder. The observatory deck, maybe. I best get some supplies before checking it out. I don't want to be dangled over the ledge again. With that, I head back down the fire escape. I'll need string. Yeah, I could get that from shoelaces. I remember there being an upscale shoe store for fancy occasions. Rope. I could rip clothes from the clothing stores to make it. And I could find belts as well. Okay, we're going to get equipped. Back at the escalator area, I take stock of the available stores. Okay, Zara is a good clothing store. I think the shoe stores are on the floor below. I need to hurry though. The Trapper has had a lot of time to make preparations too. I head into Zara and find some belts. With my paws and teeth, I tear fabric into long strips, twisting and tying them into a makeshift rope. I've learned a lot from working with the Trapper. She'll find it ironic when I beat her with her own tricks. The next stop is the shoe store. With every step, I feel purposeful. Time to take down the Trapper. It's not going to go that easy, is it? She's a scary individual. In the past, I'd avoided using the escalators in fear of being seen, but in this situation, there isn't anyone but the Trapper I need to worry about. If I remember correctly, it should be down this way. I follow some signs to the opposite end of the floor. I'd once gathered supplies from this very store for a mission with the Trapper, and the shoelaces would be just what I need. I entered the store. Rows and rows of shoes are displayed on the wall. Dogs only wear shoes on special occasions, so while it makes sense to have a shoe store in a fancy shopping centre like this, they're kind of rare on the island. I'm upside down. I crane my neck to see that I'm dangled by my soundly tied limbs to the ceiling. You've been caught. I didn't realise it then, but now I remember when exactly I grazed the tripwire. Okay, here we go. I'm glad my hunch paid off. I remember this voice, the trapper's tone reserved for prey. Oh, hi, Shireda. My heart's pounding, and I'm starting to get dizzy. I struggle and pull with my legs, which only results in me swinging back and forth. The trapper calmly watches me, not saying a word. Okay, I give up. It's hopeless. Even after all these years, you still have the upper paw. I was naive to think I could surpass you. Just eliminate me already. The trapper stands still, as if contemplating it. It's humiliating. She read me like an open book. Just do it. Yeah, I've been puzzling about this ever since that time. How did you do it? It's kind of like deja vu. But we will talk again. We will talk about how you killed that dog in real life by killing him in the arena. I've been intrigued for a long time. First, she was curious about the fan shoot incident in Arena 9. Of course, she's also curious about how I eliminated her in Arena 12. If I were her, with such lethal skills, I would be curious too. I'd be curious about how Sid, a weak minion, turned the tables on her. I'm not sure either, because at the end of the last video, we jumped off the building. And that's where it cut out. I'm not sure what happened. I kept it a secret for many years, of course. I didn't want to let it become public knowledge. If other dogs started trying what I did, it could bring down the entire structure of the arenas. At the time, I thought about revealing my cheat. The island could break free of the ARI's grip. In my dream, Shiba Inus would no longer be separated as good or bad dogs. We would never have to prove that we're better than another Shiba Inu ever again. Shiba Inu Island would be a place where Shibas could just grow up as themselves. The thought of a future like that was beautiful. It was like sunlight. But it was only a fleeting warmth I felt. I chose not to act on that thought. I wanted to guarantee my own freedom and power, and if freeing the entire island would be detrimental to my goal in any way, it's a no-go. I haven't told a single soul about what happened in Arena 12. I'm not about to tell her the truth now either. You underestimated me. That's what happened. That's the only reason I could beat you. I considered the possibility that I underestimated you. The trapper speaks slowly, as if really dwelling on her words. I've never seen her being this deliberative before. Everything just seemed to work in her mind instantly, with a claw click. I thought very carefully about your skills before asking you to come on board with me. I don't make mistakes. I really thought I had the upper paw, but never has a dog proved me so wrong. Have you ever had your own minions in the arena, Sid? Yeah, I have. So, I knew what you were doing. I knew both the risks and benefits of having that kind of power over another dog. Honestly, when you spared me, I finally understood what my minions must have felt. The visceral understanding that you could eliminate me whenever you wished, however you wished. For self-preservation, any dog would obey. You were correct that you had the upper paw over me on all fronts. Maybe you made a mistake, maybe you didn't. I got lucky, and that's it. I'm just trying to understand. So, you have been on the other side of a manipulative strategic partnership. The phrase manipulative strategic partnership rolls off her tongue smoothly. Doesn't for me, not at all. It's a term she has a clear definition for, a term that she frequently uses. Maybe you gained some perspective by being the minion, whereas I had never been in that position before, which allowed you to blindside me. That's a stretch. I'm sorry, but I really don't have the answers you're looking for. The trapper shakes her head. That is unfortunate. But this is still what you wanted, right? You got me at your mercy. How I eliminated you in the past isn't important. You could eliminate me now and overwrite all of it. You seem very eager. I just want to get it over with. I've half the mind to just leave you here and see if you can escape. Your call, not mine. The trapper shrugs. Then, without a word, she just turns and walks off. Okay, so now I've got another fighting chance. I twist, swinging back and forth. I try to lift my muzzle to the ropes, but my strength fails me. I can't reach far enough to attempt biting through the rope. I let my head fall back, letting the ropes take all my weight. It's almost relaxing, the ropes taut and gently rocking me. It's quiet. Why does she refuse to get this over with? I don't understand her fixation on the questions. I've already told her I know nothing. Though I guess by eliminating me, or even winning the feather, isn't as important to her as finding the answers. And the way she talked to me, it was kind of different. She was so honest, and if honest is the right word to use. She seemed to genuinely treat me as an equal. Which is kind of flattering, I guess. I should give up. I really can't beat her with normal means. I can't escape this trap just by myself. I guess it's time to go to the Copied Arena. At least I tried here. Knowing her, she'll be monitoring this area for a while. If she witnesses me going to the Copied Arena, I wonder if she can follow. Okay, 15 minutes later, according to Sid's sense of time. It's probably inaccurate. Okay, I guess she's not coming back until I do something. Time to go. I close my eyes and relax. If Shirley's watching, it must look as if I'm sleeping. Feather, let me go to the Copied Arena. Use the power. When I open my eyes, I'm in the air, but the ropes that snared and hung me are gone. Nice. I take my pendant out from its hiding place and snap it open. The feather sits there, shimmering, as if smiling in its own way at me. You're so reliable as always. Thanks for letting me harness your power. Time to spy on the trapper. I hum a tune without a care, strolling around the monochrome building. I do a tour of my shopping centre floors. Nothing. Next, I leisurely walk around the trapper's office space floors. No sign. I'm surprised that she's not in this area. Surely she'd have noticed that I'm gone. Was she really not monitoring if I escape or not? I'm certain that my physical body goes from the arena whenever I enter a Copied Arena, at least for my prior experience with the Copied Arena, it was so. If I were her, what would I be doing now? There's lots of other floors to check. Got the observatory or the tourist observatory? Oh, let's go to the real deal, outside of observatory. This is a risky business. I climb the stairs to the outdoor observatory. It's an observatory that lacks all the safeguards the tourist one has. For good reason, it's not open to the public. Here, one is at the mercy of the whirling elements and of course the possibility of plummeting to your death. Once up the stairs, I feel the wind whipping around me, grey clouds framing the pure white sun. I trot a bit further around the perimeter, and there I spot the trapper. That place is exactly where she trapped me, no doubt. A chill runs down my body. Now that I know where to look, I see that she's got the same trap set up. Atop one of the overhead beams, she'd laid ropes that would drop and ensnare a dog passing below. Due to the open walkway, it isn't activated by a tripwire, but rather a wire that is run further out and is manually pulled to trigger the trap. On that day, we'd been walking almost side by side, when she'd suddenly reached out, pulled, and the next thing I knew I was hung over the ledge. The trapper is still, with a small smile that seems to carry many mixed emotions. Is she waiting for me with this? She should know that I won't fall for it again, though. Right now, it's the perfect chance for me to leave the Copied Arena and eliminate her. I creep behind her, positioning myself carefully, so she can't see where I emerge. I can't risk her noticing me before I can land the blow. It would be even worse if she sees me fleeing back into the Copied Arena if I fail. Okay, Feather, let me... The trapper suddenly turns. Can she see me? But she reaches out and pulls the wire. Before my thoughts can process what I'm witnessing, she's whisked up by the ropes that had dropped and ensnared her limbs. She dangles off the overhead beam, nothing between her and the ground from a dizzying height. Despite this, she looks calm. What the fish sticks is she doing? I edge cautiously toward the ledge and peer over. The trapper just hangs there, the rough winds knocking her into the side of the building. The memory of the reverse situation comes back in full force, drowning out all my other thoughts. You're losing it. You got to get it together. Promise me. I promise, please, I'll do anything, just please. I was sobbing. Nasty little flashback. I shake my head furiously, as if that could trace the memories away. You are here, Sid, not in the past. Come back. Breathe in and out. I refocus on the trapper. She closes her eyes, as if sleeping. She's basically immobile. I could try to eliminate her. But it's not safe for me to exit the copied arena from over the ledge. I got to figure out a way to get her back onto solid ground on the observatory deck. Okay, I'll try to lure her up by telling her I was lying before, and that I'm ready to tell her the answers to what she seeks. I'll take a few steps back, as to be out of sight when I emerge. Feather, let me return to the arena. Yeah, this is a dangerous play. Okay, with this simple thought, the colour returns to the world. Now I'm in the real version of the arena, where I can interact with the trapper once more. I stand still for a few moments. The idea was to speak to the trapper and lure her up, but my mind is suddenly blank. Maybe I'll go to the ledge for a dramatic effect. She'll be able to see me. I'll stand on tiptoe. I'll ask her, "What are you doing?" to start the conversation. It would be suspicious if I just open with, "Come up here, I'll give you the answers now." She'll probably respond with something I wouldn't understand the first time. I'll ask her a clarifying question. "What do you mean?" Then she'll subtly redirect the conversation so that she'll come back up to the ledge. "Sid, how long are you going to hide there for?" Wow. Did I just make a weird sound out loud? I guess I can't pretend to not be there. How does she always know when someone's there? Did she get hearing enhancement surgery? Or are her family genes not devolved by technology, so her instincts are as good as our ancient ancestors? Anyway, I brush away the silly ideas and step up to the ledge. She's still dangling there, no tricks, it seems. Though, I hope that she doesn't have some trick to pull me over the ledge. According to my plan, I'll start the conversation innocently. "Hey, Shirila, what are you doing?" "What does it look like I'm doing?" "I'm sure you haven't forgotten this scene." "Of course I haven't. Except, our roles were the other way around. To put things simply, I want to understand how my judgment went wrong, and where it went wrong." "Anything you can do this by role-playing my experiences?" "That's what I'm hoping for, yeah." "I don't mean to sound dismissive, but what's the point?" "Your rankings are finalised, Arena 12 is over, and this scenario will never happen again." "Stop playing dumb, I know you understand what I want. Maybe it's closure." "I underestimated you, because I was so sure of my own judgment. I wasn't open to the fact that you could be a late bloomer, and that we would actually be equals. You could save me the trouble if you answer me straight. How did you escape my detection the whole time, when it was just the two of us left in the arena?" "If you truly see me as an equal, you'll understand. I'd prefer to keep some secrets for my own reasons. I don't want you to use them against me to eliminate me this time around." "What if I tell you the reason I re-challenged you was not for the feather?" I gulp at the mention of the feather. She notices from the way her eyes flicker back and forth, and she arches an eyebrow. "It's the truth." "Did you know that I work for the ARI now? I hold one of the largest slices of reality on the island. Do you even know why the feather exists as a prize for the final winner of the arenas? As part of the ARI and being exposed to its inner workings, I learned why. Trust me when I say I don't want the feather." It's almost a comical situation. The way she calmly delivers this new and valuable information while hanging off a 100-story building and being buffeted by the wind gives me an unexpected insight into her character. How about I pull you back up and we can talk about it some more? I'll give you an answer, and you let me eliminate you. Okay. Don't you want to hear more about that ARI? It does intrigue me, the reason that the feather exists. It's not like I plan to be involved with the ARI or the island for any longer after I find my brother. But the feather is still a part of my identity. The trapper's information might give me more understanding about what I could do with it. Sure, you can tell me more if you want. I want to change the terms of the deal then. You can eliminate me, but I'm not going to just let you do it without resistance. She probably thinks I still don't have full confidence in my ability to eliminate her. Though my plan all along was to lure her back onto solid ground, so I can use the copied arena to catch her off guard and eliminate her. Okay, my account of how I won the past arena for information about the purpose and the meaning of the feather. No one is to try to eliminate anyone until the conversation is finished, but after that, everything's fair game. Deal. Now help me get up. You don't have a way to get back up yourself? What if I hadn't come here? Would you just waited until I did? Trapper shrugs. Making an exasperated face at her, I tug on the ropes and she braces her legs on the walls and pushes herself up, little by little. Thanks. Wow, no problem. She does seem to be treating me much more like an equal. I guess losing did wonders for her ego, maybe. You go first. Well, is there any part you want to hear about first? The part I'm most curious about is what happened after the day I let you take off to mope. Right, okay. Well, you know, it was a difficult time. You just gave me a harsh verbal beating, and I was mentally broken from the arena, to be honest. I flourish a paw, for dramatic effect, grinning. The trapper doesn't smile. Wow, at least I tried. You had me dangled over the ledge. I was terrified. Just now, when you hung yourself over the edge, did anything come to mind? I look at her expectantly. Nothing? Anything like life is futile, fragile, that kind of thing? I can't say I had those thoughts from being over the ledge, no. It's common sense that in arenas we are virtually immortal, so my thoughts were nowhere near that issue of mortality. Okay, but in my case, it was caused by being at the mercy of another dog. I believe that my survival was completely in your paws. Have you ever experienced that before? I can't recall ever being utterly at the mercy of another dog. If that was the key, that means my emulation of your perspective didn't yield the results I was hoping for. Right, well, it was the first time I experienced that, and it shattered me. When I got my mind back in functioning order, it felt like I'd tried to melt together all the shards, and what came out wasn't exactly the same as before. I'm not sure if that makes sense. Somewhat. You're saying that your mind broke, and even after it was mostly healed, it was still kind of broke? Yeah, that's a very blunt way of putting it, but yeah, something like that. At the time, my thoughts were so dark and twisted that I wanted to give up. I didn't care anymore. All the years I'd spent fighting in the arenas, wanting to emerge with the highest ranking I could possibly get. All of that, I was ready to throw it all away. Luckily, it was a fleeting thought, caused by those moments of despair. But I realised that I should stop caring about the arenas. Not in the way that my despaired mind thought, which was to give up. But as I regained some of my senses, I thought, what if I could just break the arena? Break the arena? The trapper had been listening to me quietly, but I hear her softly repeat these words. I paused in case she wanted to clarify anything, but she's silent again, so I continue. Namely, I was thinking exactly of that rule, that supposedly we are immortal in the arenas. So what if I eliminate myself? As you were so curious about it, I was blamed for killing a dog in real life, but all I did was eliminate him in the arena. Actually, that's a lie. I didn't aim for his pendant, did I? Trapper shrugs. When I met you for the first time in Arena 12, I'd known you were that dog, which is why I asked you about it, but you never gave me the answers to that either. But after joining the ARI, it turned out it was quite an interesting case. The ARI had investigated, and I was able to access all of the internal documents. The ARI's official explanation was that the deceased had latent health problems, and that the life support hardware had a brief malfunction at exactly the wrong time. The case was closed, even though the ARI never found any malfunction in the life support hardware. That stuff is designed to slow down your metabolism so much that even if you had some severe physical injury, you could still go through an arena that lasts a month. Well, I'm not surprised the case was investigated by the ARI. It would be a fundamental flaw in the arenas if you could use it as a means to kill dogs in real life. Is that what you're getting at? Had that been your intention, to truly kill him? To be honest, I tell myself I don't know. But in that moment, I really did wish him dead. I've replayed that moment many times in my mind. I'm sure every dog has had thoughts like that, wishing to harm another, in fleeting moments of anger. But could that have caused his death? Anyway, that's what I was thinking about while I was hung over the ledge. What if I could just stop following the rules of the arena? Inspired by the death in Arena 9 that I was blamed for, I wondered if I could actually eliminate myself, even if official rules say it's impossible to, or even kill myself. So I came back up here and jumped. And I broke the arena. What's that supposed to mean? Clearly you didn't die in the real world, so did you eliminate yourself? But then, how could you have eliminated me? Yes, so it turned out both my guesses of what the outcome would be from jumping off were wrong. If my understanding's correct, the arenas are programmed so that we can't eliminate ourselves by destroying our own pendants. Yeah, that's right, we continuously test that out, and it's never failed. If your pendant was shattered by your own pores, you would not disappear from the arena world. The next dog to just touch your pendant will be technically listed as the dog that eliminates you. True, upon impact with the ground from such a height, my pendant was completely crushed, but I didn't disappear. I guess I didn't even need to jump and suffer such a painful experience. So, what I used to win is this other version of the arena I was able to break into, though I'm not sure how I triggered it. Other version? In my head, I call it the copied arena, but I have this weird feeling that I shouldn't tell her the exact phrase. Names have power, especially since I use that term with a feather. I'll try to describe it while giving as few clues on how to replicate it as possible. It feels like another dimension of the arena that participants aren't supposed to be able to enter. Like another layer. When I'm there, you can't see me, but I can see you. Another layer of the arena. My guess is that it's perhaps a testing layer that the AI used to program the rules of the arena, and somehow I managed to break into it. Does such a thing exist? To my knowledge, no. That's impossible. The trapper falls silent, as if turning over the possibilities in her head. As I wait for her to speak, the wind picks up. That means you could come and go into that world as you pleased, somehow, because you must have come back to the layer of the arena that I was in when you eliminated me. Sharp as ever, I'm just getting to that. But on an unrelated note, it's kind of funny, sitting here talking to you about all this. I agree, this is actually not what I was expecting to learn at all. Anyhow, I'm able to come back and forth to this other layer, which made it ideal for me to observe you and position myself while staying completely invisible to you. And you said you have no idea how exactly you triggered it? Well, my original hypothesis was that jumping and crushing my own pendant was the catalyst to send me to the other layer, but after winning the feather, I changed my mind. Obviously our Arena 12 occurred before I won the feather. But with the feather, I learned that its power could be used to peel back layers in reality, even to other worlds. So, what if there is some remnant of the feather's power that can be accessed in arenas without formally obtaining it via top ranking? That's the best guess I have. It does seem possible. It ties in with the AI's purpose of rewarding the feather as well. She trails off, but I get the feeling she's trying to gather her thoughts to say something important. Okay. Since it's part of the conditions you set, I'll tell you the purpose of the feather. I think you understand then. Okay, cool. I'll give you some background about the Allocated Reality Institute. I imagine you already know some of the ARI's history, but its internal workings will be new to you. The ARI is the highest authority on the island. We facilitate arenas whose purpose is to determine a Shiba Inu's ranking on the island. It's mandatory for all dogs to participate. The purpose of the rankings is in turn to separate the good dogs from the bad. Good dogs will have a better allocation of reality. Bad dogs will be allocated the opposite. Although it's ironic that when we say allocate the reality, because each dog is actually the one responsible for the allocation of their own share of reality, the ARI simply facilitates. But as you can imagine, there might be dogs that do not like this method of allocation. So the ARI added a safeguard. The Feather of Reality. In fact, the feather was an artifact of the Shiba Inu. The feather holds the power to alter reality directly. In the days of the ancient Shiba Inus, a group of elite Shibas used the feather to create a virtual world in which dogs competed. These competitions were used to determine which Shiba Inus were of suitable caliber to become new members of the elite group. As centuries passed, this group became more structured and would eventually become the Allocated Reality Institute as we know it today. As technology advanced, the ARI developed software to take the place of the feather's virtual worlds, and that's how the arenas came to be. But since the software to facilitate arenas was based on the past virtual realities created by the feather, it could be that there are some feather-like features that should have been removed but weren't. We analysed the data collected on every single arena. There have only been 2 known anomalies in the last 50 years. The Arena 9 instance where the dog died, and the Arena 12 instance with you and I, both of which you were involved with. Which brings us to the purpose of the feather. The ARI conducts stress testing on all aspects of the Arena software. 2 centuries ago, when the emulation software was just being developed, the leader of the ARI always won the playtest rounds, no matter what. In official records, the ARI just concluded that this meant the leader fully and truly deserved the title and power to lead the ARI. But the other members actually suspected something more. They suspected that the leader was able to cheat the software, but didn't report it. No harm was ever caused. Subsequent testing without the ARI leader worked fully as designed. However, just in case, the ARI wanted something to guarantee fairness of the Arena software. If there really existed a loophole in the widely distributed arenas, it would become a problem for future generations. So, after they developed a stable version of the Arena software, they used the Feather of Reality itself as a safeguard against the possibility that any dog could break the arena. Of course, I was clueless to all of this just like you, when I was a participant. So you're saying that I could be that dog, like the past ARI leader? Perhaps your involvement in the 2 strange arenas gave the ARI enough reason to keep an eye on you. Wow. Now that I've admitted to you I've been accessing part of the arena that isn't supposed to be accessed, aren't you going to rat me out to the ARI as a cheater? Well, no, it's not the point. Imagine the buzz on the island when our newly anointed bearer of the feather just up and left the island. That was right after I joined the ARI, since I had completed all of my arenas, finalising my rank at 98. However, compared to the general populace of the island, dogs within the ARI seemed unsurprised, almost like your departure was to be expected. What? So they would prefer the dogs like me to be gone and not cause trouble? Yeah, pretty much. And the social order made by the arena rankings would never be broken. They had a mechanism to get rid of dogs that could cause these problems. There would be no problems. Trapper nods. When you were describing your thought process behind jumping from the top of the building, it actually made me realise something. It made me realise how clever the ARI was for designing this. I would be one of the dogs of high calibre the ARI are looking for as members. However, I would never think about breaking the rules of the arena, not for 1 second. I perfectly fit the mould. The mould of a dog that will carry out the orders of the ARI without question, yet being an incredibly powerful good dog. You, on the other paw, didn't hesitate in trying to break the arena. You just wanted to continue. You didn't care much for the authority of the ARI, the structure of the arena. You're the type that would cause trouble if you joined it. It's genius. Wow, that's a lot of self-awareness right there. Well, I'm a top-ranked dog after all. I'm smart enough to realise these things. But I am a good dog. I will never tell another living being these thoughts apart from you. I will never act out against it. I will never speak out against it. I'm comfortable as a member of the ARI. In a way, I'm a bit envious. But I'm not like you. I couldn't handle the power of the feather. So, now that you know the ARI's purpose of the feather, do you have any new ideas on how you access the other layer? I'm still not sure exactly how I found it. It seems like the ARI was prepared for the possibility, but why me? Okay, how about this? I want you to enter this other layer of the arena in front of me. Are you thinking of replicating it? Yes. Well, not for myself. To be frank, I just want to see if there's something I could report to further prevent it. I wasn't prepared to demonstrate it to her. What if she's able to gain access to the copied arena just by watching me do it? But she seems genuine, especially after all that she's told me. Okay, but if she is able to replicate it, who's to say what the outcome of this arena's gonna be? Can I just have a couple moments to prepare? Oh, I didn't realise it was something you need to prepare for. Go ahead, I'll uphold our terms and not attack you in the meantime. To prove her point, she takes some steps backwards, closer against the ledge wall. Damn it, Sid, what do you do? I mean, I haven't got many options. I guess I'll think about it. This wasn't part of the bargain, though. I promised my account of how I won the past arena. So I technically didn't promise to demonstrate it. I can just enter the copied arena, pretending it's to show her. then I'll just eliminate her. If she gives me any grief after the arena ends, I'll just say that I technically upheld my end of the bargain. So this is a big decision, so if we think about it a bit more, we're going to just go for it. A little bit more. I've half a mind to argue that demonstrating the whole process isn't part of the bargain. But there's no harm in showing her as a gesture of goodwill, right? She could try replicating my actions, but if she couldn't access the copied arena 10 years ago, I doubt she could do it now. Though she's also now working for the ARI, so she may have gained more insight into how the arenas are fundamentally structured. Maybe, just maybe, she could replicate it. Fine, just do it. Just do it. Refuse to enter the copied arena. I don't want her coming after me. Well, demonstrate how to enter the copied arena as a sign of goodwill. Enter and eliminate. Ooh. Well, we have been told that we're not a good dog, so she would fully expect us to do it. So let's enter and then eliminate. With my mind set on betrayal, oh shit, I pretend to be busy preparing. I'm just going to act nonchalantly until she looks away. I occasionally glance at her in the corner of my eye. The trick is to not move my head, but just my eyes. If I make eye contact, I blink, and when my eyes reopen, they're fixated on the ground in front of me. Okay, she's looking away. Feather, let me go to the copied arena. Gone. In that split second, the trapper's eyes snap back to where I was. She's laughing. I stalk toward her, curving slightly to the right. I hadn't realised it would be this sudden. But before you eliminate me, which I presume is the plan, let me tell you one thing. Okay, I can do that. I stay silent, waiting for her to speak. If you were able to access the arena layer, even before rightfully claiming the feather, then by all means you deserve the win. I just want you to know one last truth that I learned from working in the ARI. Our goal is to separate good dogs from bad dogs. Sid, you, with the highest ranking, you are, without a dog, the best dog that Sheba Island has to offer. For each high-ranking dog, there are multitudes of lower-ranked dogs because of the pyramid structure of the brackets. Have you ever wondered why there are beef dishes, but you've never actually seen the animal we call a cow on the island? And I'm not talking about the synthetically produced flavours. Is she trolling me? Look, think about it. The island's small. There's a large population of the dogs, and too large for the size of the island. You see what I'm saying? To ensure that dogs are living on the island are indeed worthy of taking up the space, the ARI is necessary. She stares ahead, even more intensely. Eliminate me right here. I don't want the feather, but please, take it, and as a condition, allow the ARI to continue doing its work. This is unbelievable. I don't want to know about this. Why are you telling me this? I suppose she's saying that I effectively killed so many dogs by participating in the arenas. But literally every dog has. Everyone's just as guilty as me. She's saying it's necessary. So yeah, I'll keep the feather, as she suggests. I don't care about the ARI's missions, nothing to do with me. And so I move behind her and leap out of the copied arena. Barreling into her from behind, I wrap my legs firmly around her, feeling up her torso. Found it. For good measure, I blink back into the copied arena. It'll be like I'm teleporting all around her before I eliminate her once and for all. Positioning myself at a better angle, I leap back into the real arena, aiming straight for the pendant. Gone. Congratulations. Oh, this is so embarrassing. I feel like I just drooled all over while I was passed out. Feeling slowly returns to my limbs as I move my paws and stretch my legs before pushing myself upright. Losing my balance, I collapse on myself. With the second attempt, I lean onto the wall into a more dignified position. How is it that re-challengers are always the ones that wake up faster? I get my bearings. I'm in what looks like a library. The trapper, or should I say Shirila, as she is no longer the terrifying trapper to me, looks impassively at me. Where is this? You're in my office. It might be too late for an apology, but I'd brought you here because it was more convenient. She basically kidnapped me. Okay. Oh, that was a big, load of information and some quite shocking things revealed. But yeah, we have got this super feather power, and it means we are breaking the system, which is definitely going to land us in trouble. But that is it for this episode. This is Usho signing off, and hopefully I will see you next time.